All right, so let's try to get through this because I accidentally just deleted this clip and I did not mean to do this. So this is not your ordinary vlog. It is going to be long, but I promise you it's going to be worth it. It's going to be pictures and some random video clips, so bear with me. We are going to be recapping my wedding day. So it's been a year. I've been married for a year now, and I feel like I've never actually talked about my wedding day, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But the reason why we don't have any formal footage to show you guys is because we didn't have a videographer that day, but we had a photographer, and we have some random pictures and video clips from people the day of. So what you see is what you get. That's all I have. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get to it.
And I can add the off the shoulder to anything strapped.
Ooh, that's cute. No. Now you got me messed up, child.
And she has it tightened up, but it has
Cause every time you hit a piece of light, you shimmering. Oh, that's it. This the dress. I can.
Start the day before. The day before, my niece did my hair. She did my wig. Amazing. She did an amazing job. If y'all hear Sophia in the background, that's why. She's over there playing. But my niece did my hair. My sister styled my hair. And then she also painted my nails. So that's all that was pretty much done the day before in prep for the wedding as far as my appearance. Deontay picked up his tux from the cleaners. It was a pretty low-key day, but it rained and stormed so bad the day before the wedding and the day of. So yeah, let's get to that. So I was annoyed because I'm like, it would rain on my wedding day. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's good luck, that's this, and then. But let me tell you something. When you have curated something so big like a wedding and you have invested so much money in it, you want things to go the way you want it to go. I'm sorry, you just do. And at our wedding venue that we chose, they had renovated and added on a whole outside covered area. And although it was covered, because it's on the water and it was raining and storming so bad, we wouldn't have been able to use the outside safely. You know, it's lightning and thunder and we wouldn't have been able to use it. And also that would have affected our wedding pictures. So thankfully the day of, I want to say 30 to 45 minutes before the ceremony started, it stopped raining completely, and it did not rain at all the rest of the day. And it was projected to rain that whole entire time. It was not going to stop. So that was nothing but God that it stopped right before the ceremony started. So anyways, I go get my makeup done that day. My niece actually came with me. And although me and my niece were close, I didn't expect her to want to come with me to go get my makeup done. So that was a cool bonding moment that I got to have with her. So me and her got breakfast and then went to my makeup appointment. And my makeup artist, oh my gosh, she ate down on my makeup. It looked so good. I was determined to have glam makeup. I want something that's going to be oh, you got your makeup done. Oh, you paid money for this. That's how I wanted my makeup to look. So I found a look that I wanted on Pinterest, and she did exactly that, but tailored it to my features. So we get the ball rolling. So the way the venue is set up, with the new add-on, they have a bridal suite and they have a groom suite. Before, they only had a bridal suite. They didn't have a groom suite prior to. But with the new addition, they were able to build a huge bridal suite that is attached to the outside portion, and then the groom suite was the bridal suite that was inside was turned into the groom suite. So that worked out perfectly for me and Deontay because he was able to get dressed on site as well. So up until Deontay got there, I was pretty much going back and forth inside the venue, checking on things, just making sure everything was okay, but also like trying to work through my nerves because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm getting married, like for real. So when he gets there, I can't come in anymore because where the groom suite is at, his door to come out is right in like right where the ceremony is taking place. And that's where we were all at, you know, helping like orchestrate figuring out what was what, which technically we didn't need to do that. They have staff. They did everything. My sister and my cousin just was overseeing because they knew exactly how things were supposed to look. So they were basically like my voice without me having to like be present and speak to people. So they were like a huge help. I really, really appreciate all my family that helped me that day because I don't know how I would have been able to do it. So by this point, I'm stuck in the bridal suite and I'm just sitting there fidgeting. I don't have nothing to do. My makeup is done. My sister had already styled my hair the day before. So I have like pin curls basically. And then the moment came and they're like, it's time for you to get dressed. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, but first let's get Sophia dressed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm watching her get dressed and her in her little dress and my sister, the way she did Sophia's hair, it just looked, oh my gosh, she just looked like a little lady. And I just was like, I cannot deal with this. My emotions can't deal with this today. So by this point, they're like, now it's time for you to get dressed. And I just felt like it was like a out of body experience. Like I didn't really know like how to feel, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like extremely happy, but I was also nervous. And I think the nerves came from just, I think when you're like an introvert, but you're like, I'm an introvert extrovert, but I'm more of an introvert than I am an extrovert. So I think when you're like that, like being around people and all the attention being on you is very uncomfortable. And this is my wedding day. Of course, all the attention is going to be on me and my husband. Who else is it going to be on? So it's like everybody's watching your every move and you're trying to like feel your feels, but it's kind of hard because everybody's like all up in your space. You know, it's really hard to like just like let go. So you're just like, you're like scatterbrained, but kind of in a good way. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a good thing, but it kind of is. So anyway, so I'm getting dressed. I think this was like after I had got dressed. My aunt called with my uncle, and I feel like I may have talked about this, but they were supposed to be there that day, but my uncle had experienced a medical emergency like months prior to that landed him in the hospital, and he honestly just recently got out. So it's been a long journey. So that was a really hard emotional thing for my family, especially leading up to that point, because he always told Deontay that, hey, when y'all get married, I'll cut y'all hair, because my uncle is a barber. He had his own shop, like, you know, like that's what he did growing up. So like it was like a big thing for him to like cut Deontay's hair. And Deontay reminded me of that leading up to the wedding. Like, your uncle was supposed to cut my hair. And I was like, I know. And like that was like an emotional moment for us, because it's like, dang, like it was kind of sad, you know. But I was happy that, you know, I was able to talk to them on FaceTime and see them. And my cousins came down, and, you know, so I still had like family representation from their side. So I felt good about that as well. But anyways, so off the sad part, oh, and then also, since we're here, then so I can get off the sad part. Deontay's mom had experienced a medical emergency as well. So she wasn't able to be there the day of. It was such a sensitive, and it still is such a sensitive thing, that there was a reason medically. So it was a lot for Deontay. It's like, this is your wedding day, and you probably pictured this, or at least imagined it, a lot lately. And I think for this to be the moment, and you're having to also be in the moment of your wedding day, but then also worry about your parent, is a whole nother thing that I don't wish on anybody. So I think as his now wife, or even coming into that fiance, I found myself like checking on him, but not, I didn't always want to say, hey, you're okay, because I feel like that kind of magnifies it. So, but all in all, I feel like he was in great spirits. So was his brother. So it was nice that his brother was able to come. And I do feel like that put him at ease a little too, is having his brother there, you know. So that was good, because I feel like I said, I feel like that helped him. So let's get off the sad part. All right, so going into the wedding. So at this point, they're like, all right, it's time for you to go out. And at this point, my nerves are already bad, but now it's worse. It's raining still at this point. Raining, cats and dogs. At this point, the rain, I don't even care. I'm too messed up mentally. Like, I'm too, like, sorry, y'all, this is bothering me. I'm too, like, all over the place emotionally that I can't even worry about the rain anymore. So I am a nervous wreck. So we go in there, and the way the venue has it set up is they have 2 sets of curtains. The first set of curtains you can open up to go into the ceremony space, and then there's like a middle space, and then on the far end is where the door is at. So when guests are coming in, they have a curtain that they're walking in between, so that way they don't see the bride or the groom or whoever is behind that initial curtain. By this point, I'm behind the last set of curtains, and that's where, and then in front of the curtain is where all the guests are still coming in. So I want to say about a good 30, maybe 45 minutes or so before the ceremony started, the rain completely stopped. Like, dried up, sun came out like nothing ever happened. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is great. Like, I can't really complain about that. So I'm talking to my sister, my brother is back there, and my dad comes around the corner, and I immediately starts to cry. And I'm like, Dad, like, please do not cry. You're going to make me cry. He's like, okay. I should get myself together. You just look so pretty. And I was like, oh, thank you. But I'm like, Dad, please do not start crying. So he dries it up. He gets himself together. My dad looks so nice. He had on the colors that I wanted him to wear. Like, he just looked nice. Me and my siblings, we got to take a picture together. Me and Sophia was back there taking pictures. My DJ, she constantly was checking on me because the set of curtains that I was behind was the same set of curtains she was behind. So she was playing the arrival music for our guests, and I curated a playlist. Let me see if I can find it, because I really wanted our playlist to reflect us, and I wanted it to be something that almost told a story. So it was a lot of Kenny G, Sade, BB and CeCe Winans, Luther Vandross, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Jhené Aiko, Her, and Snow Allegra. So the songs that we have is Songbird, Silhouette, Forever in Love, Sentimental, Havana, The Sweetest Taboo, No Ordinary Love, Smooth Operator, Lost Without You, So Amazing, Here and Now, Halo, Human Nature, While We're Young, Best Part, Do for Love. I wanted these songs because a lot of these songs reminded me of when I was growing up. This is the songs that my dad would play a lot. Like, a lot of the music that I know into this day, like older music, is because of my dad. So I wanted some of that. And when he would hear certain stuff, because he was back there with me, he was just vibing. And I was like, yeah, Dad. He's like, okay. I was like, yeah, you remember this. So that was like a nod to him and just to my moment with my father, because I think the thing is, people don't realize on your wedding day, regardless of, okay, this is my person, I want to marry him, I'm sure about this, all of these things, I think is a little bit of a reflective moment that you have, that you're like, I am getting married. I am giving up my name. And although that is an option, you don't have to. And I didn't mind. I think in that moment still it was like, this is happening. It and not literally, but it kind of can create or mentally make you feel like there's a separation when that last name is gone. And that is your connection to your father, who you get your last name from. So that was a nod to that. Me and Deontay went to the same church but never crossed paths. So some of these songs that, like a lot of the Kenny G songs are the things that were played at our church when we would arrive to church, but we never actually met. Like, so that was a nod to that. And also it was a nod to the other songs were a nod to like the music that we listen to nowadays. Like, a lot of like the newer music, like the Her, the Snow Allegra, Janae Aiko, stuff like that. And Deontay likes Michael Jackson. I mean, who doesn't? We all do. So there was a reason why I chose the songs that I chose for the guests to arrive. And then also Deontay was hearing this music because as the last few guests were arriving, he was setting up, like being positioned to walk down the aisle. So once I heard his music playing and I'm hearing people clap and he starts walking down the aisle, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening. So I'm nervous as hell at this point. I'm so nervous. And so my sister was back there still because she was back there to help Sophia get down the aisle. Once Sophia got down the aisle, then my sister would position herself to go sit, because me and Deontay was very adamant about not having any of our family do anything. Like the most that my sister or my cousin did and their kids did was, just make sure everything was going correct. And that was it. Something to know about my family is that they are acts of service kind of people. And any way, shape, or form that they can give, they will. And I'm like, yes, this is me and Deontay's moment. Yes, we are the ones that are getting married, but I also wanted them to enjoy it. I didn't want my family to be working. I'm like, y'all always doing something, always working, y'all. And I know that it's hard for y'all to sit still, but I'm like, I want y'all to be able to enjoy this moment and be like, okay, emotionally be able to like lock in and tap in and like see it for what it is and not be like behind the scenes and trying to do stuff and then you miss a moment. So, and I feel like it did exactly what we wanted to do. And I'm so happy that we did it that way. I really am. It was like money well spent. I don't care what anybody says. So Sophia goes down the aisle. I hear her music playing. And I will say, to me at that point, the nerves were so bad that I think I was having a very hard time emotionally kind of holding it together, because it was like, our daughter just went down the aisle, like, and we're getting married. Like, we got to this point. We've been trying to get to this point for years. It's so much that's been going on medically in our families, and this is our moment. So it was just heavy in a good way, in a sense. It just was a lot. So me and my dad, we go down the aisle, but first I have to stand up there and they do the dramatic curtain pull reveal. I'm standing there, I'm smiling, everybody's taking it in, and then I walk down the aisle with my dad. Me and Deontay, we get married, and by this point my legs literally feel like they're about to give out. By this point I have sweated so bad, like my legs are trembling, the bottom of my foot, that the way my shoe was strapped, because it didn't have like any support, it was just like a little strap around the ankle, that's it. So by this point my foot is like sliding out of the shoe. It's not staying put at all, baby. It's not doing it. So I'm like walking on like the ball of like my foot. At this point, they were like, "You okay?" As we're like trying to leave down the aisle, I was like, my foot is sliding out of the shoe. Like, so thankfully, I was already going to wear tennis shoes anyway. During the reception, I had some Dunks that were the colors of our wedding, or had the colors of our wedding in the shoe. So I quickly changed to those, and then we go take pictures outside, steaming. Okay, it was steaming outside, so we go do that. And we got amazing pictures. We joined cocktail hour a little bit, and that was amazing. We didn't even really get to taste everything, to be honest, which that was, but I mean, that's like the risk you take when you're trying to get great pictures, and we took a lot of pictures. So then after that, we got our first look to the reception, and everything looked exactly how we wanted it to look, down to like the centerpiece, just everything looked exactly like how I envisioned. Like, I will say that is the one nod, which is going to sound weird for me to say, but that's like the one nod to having anxiety. You are always looking for a calm moment. You're always looking for what can I create in my space to give me a sense of peace, a sense of calm, a sense of comfort, something. And I wanted our wedding to reflect that. And although I felt like I was doing it for me, maybe God was speaking to me to do that for Deontay, because I feel like that day he needed that. He needed to have a certain level of calmness and peace to say, everything is going to be okay. It's fine. It wasn't too busy. It didn't like rile you up. It just made you feel relaxed. It made you feel thankful. It made you, I don't know. It's just like how the venue looked with the colors that we chose, the decoration that we chose. It wasn't too busy. It was spot on, in my opinion. And so that's exactly how I felt when I walked through the door. We loved it. We sat down. We ate. Reception, we danced, the DJ, top tier. Let me tell you something. You would have thought she worked for the venue as well. Like, she kept checking on us, making sure we were okay. Like, she did more than her job. We cut the cake. We took more pictures. We did, I think it was called Table Dash or something like that, where each table gets called and then they have to run up to the bride and groom and like the photographer like hurry up and like snap a picture. So we did that. So that was like our way to get a lot of pictures with all of our guests. And then our friends surprised us with a boat ride. So that was cool. So we got a lot of nice pictures on the water. So kudos to them. That was like their wedding gift to us. So we went out on the water, me, Deontay, and Sophia. That was a moment. I had never been on a boat. Sophia's never been on a boat. I don't know if Deontay has. So that was like a cool moment that we got to have, like, you know, pictures on the water. Like, what? Like, that was not in the plan. So they don't even know. Like, they did something when they did that, because we got like beautiful pictures that way. So we came back, we said our goodbyes to everybody. The DJ played the last song, and then that was it. And the day was done. And it was just like, we did it. Like, we did it. We did it. Like, we, at one point during the reception, we were looking at each other like, bro, we married each other. Who would have thought? Like, who would have thought? Like, we just kept like joking and laughing about it, because we're just like, bro, this is crazy. Like, this is, me and Deontay, we take stuff serious, but to an extent we kind of don't. So we just kept saying that, like, bro, this is crazy. Like, you married me. I married you. Like, it was just like, it was a crazy day. Like, I remember like driving home. I'm telling y'all, very casual after that. Like, after that, it was like, all right, end scene. Okay, time to go home. But at this point, I started to get a migraine. I think all the adrenaline after that kind of started to go away, and regular life started to set back in. It was like, I'm a mom. Like, I got to get things going, you know? So I get all my belongings. I get in my car. Sophia gets in the car with me, and we were probably like 10 minutes up the street, and she was out like a light. She was asleep. So the good thing that I like about the venue that we had it at is that we didn't have to package anything. They pretty much packed and cleaned up everything. All we had to do was take our belongings. Like, that was it. And then I came the next day to pick up like our stuff. So yeah, man, it was just like, it was such a great moment. Like, man, like, I don't really know what else to say. Like, yes, there were a lot of things that we wish would have been better, as far as certain people being able to be there. And yes, that was unfortunate. But as a whole, I feel like we had an amazing day. We were able to document these moments with people that we love. I feel like we made such great conscious choices on how the wedding flowed and just how we went about what we wanted. Like, I'm glad that we stood on, hey, we are the ones that are getting married. What do you like? What do you want? Is this necessary to you? Do you not care about this? We don't have to do this. So, at one point, I was regretting not doing a dance with my dad. But as I was going through my pictures, my photographer caught a moment, And I think this is like the cool thing about having photographers that get it and people that like are just great at their job. They capture the moments that they're supposed to. They never miss a moment. And she captured a moment with me and my dad dancing together. Like just regular, you know, during the ceremony. And I remember that moment. And I'm like, this is all I needed. So it was cool to get that. It was cool to just like go through all of these pictures and see all of our guests show up for us. And all in all, it was an amazing day. Until this day, I still feel that way about it. And that was my biggest thing, is that I want to get to the day and I want to say, I'm so happy I did this. I'm so happy not only did I marry who I married, but I'm so happy that we made the choices that we made for our wedding. No regrets. Except the videographer. Outside of that, no regrets.